I asked a question in the last video about Kaylee's SUV and got a whole bunch of different answers. So let's see if we can all get on the same page. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. All right, so as I mentioned yesterday, whenever I posted this video, while we were reading through this article, we found out that one of the things the investigators were doing before we ever even knew about Bryan Kohberger was looking into the previous owners of Kaylee's SUV. Now, I find it kind of strange, but whenever I mentioned how I wasn't really sure which car lot or how Kaylee got the car, I knew from what we had heard that the Goncalveses had ended up paying off the vehicle. It was like a crowd-funded situation, and they paid off her SUV, and then they ended up getting some customized plates in. And all of the photos, the plate on it just had like one price, auto sales or something like that. And then the front was just like black plastic blankness. She barely had it for a little over 24 hours before this incident happened. So honestly, all of the paperwork wasn't even officially filed, which is why I find it strange that they were looking into the previous owners, because there would have literally been no time or anything that would have allowed any sort of notification or any sort of changes to registration or anything at this point. She just got it Friday. By Sunday morning, she was no longer breathing. So yeah, there was no changes implemented enough for there to be any reason to look into the previous owners. At least that's just like my opinion. But when it comes to where she got the actual car, let me go ahead and show you guys what I found, because I did get so many different answers in this video.
So I took the one price thing off the back of Kaylee's license plate, paper plate that was given to her to ride around with before her actual plates came in, and tried to put that in the Google bar. But instead of it being like an actual place called One Price pre-owned vehicles, it actually tells you down here whenever you're looking at AutoNation. Notice how it says AutoNation and then One Price with the one with no space, the same way that Kaylee's paper plate is. And again, I know a lot of people have probably already shown you guys this, but there's so many differences in the answers in the comments. And since I was questioning it too, I figured I'm just going to put this out there because there seems to be a lot of people that heard something that was false or just don't know at all like I do. So that's why we're going over this. So anyway, AutoNation. The thing about that, here's AutoNation. Notice it says Las Vegas, Nevada. Don't think that I have not tried, okay? I have tried 3 different zip codes to get this to change. This is one of Coeur d'Alene's, 83814, and it will not change. It stays Las Vegas. And then I tried one for Moscow, and it won't change. It just stays freaking Las Vegas. I don't know why. So then I went here. This is the map. And if you just type in AutoNation, you can see there's nothing in Idaho. There's not one in Idaho. And this does do changes and searches, because if I go here like this, you notice that this over here changes, right? Like it changes. But look, so there's just like all these clusters of AutoNations in Spokane, it seems like. Now this is one for Honda. This is just AutoNation car dealer, Chevrolet. This one is Chevy. Oh, they look like they're the same building. And it's the same building. This one is Toyota. Where'd it go? And then this one is Volkswagen. And this one is Subaru. So I know that whenever I bought my Honda off of the Honda dealership, they had Toyota, Chevys, Fords, everything else was there too. So I'm pretty sure any one of these would have had Kaylee's Range Rover. We just don't know which location. And it would have to be one of these locations, because here's Coeur d'Alene right here. And as you can see, there's not another AutoNation anywhere near her in order for her to go anywhere else. Now, I wanted to look at the prices because a lot of people, again, think that it's improbable that she would have this vehicle, but I think that those people just don't know how reality works. And I'm like serious here. We are not all fed silver spoons. We don't have parents that had a whole bunch of money that gifted us brand new vehicles. We don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank where we can go and just put 30, 40, 50 grand down on a vehicle paid in cash. Thousands upon millions upon trillions upon billions of us put down payments down, have our credit ran, and then we make payments every month and pay full coverage insurance because you have to, as long as you're paying a car note. Okay. So whenever I look at people that say that, it just floors me that they just don't understand how the real world actually works out here. So if you look at the prices on Kelley Blue Book for a 2016 Range Rover Evoque, okay, even the 18s are only 33,000. All right. Here's a 2015 for 17. Here's a 2018 for 27, a 2018 for 24. Okay. My Honda SUV was 20 grand. And I pay a monthly note on it. There is nothing unreasonable about Kaylee having this vehicle at all. Now, it was probably, I'm going to estimate because of what I'm seeing here, depending on the package it was, because just like everything else, I'm pretty sure they have little standard packages and then they have like elite packages with all kind of extra, googly gadgets and whistles, right? But literally a 2017 is less than 20 grand. I highly doubt that her 2016 was any higher than that. She probably put like $2,000 or $3,000 down on it and was paying like $300 a month, if that. Honestly.
So yeah, as you can see, it had to have come from an AutoNation over in Washington, which is why I find it strange they were looking into the previous owners. Now, the only reason why I find it improbable is because not only, like I mentioned previously, the transaction happened on a Friday. Nobody is filing paperwork at the end of the day on a Friday. Nobody's trying to do anything extra, okay? Most likely, the paperwork for anything that she signed on Friday wasn't going to even be put into the system, implemented, updated, anything until like Monday morning. If that, okay? When I got my Honda off the Honda dealership parking lot, it took like a month for them to get everything together in the system and things to start noticeably being different whenever I would look up my information for my vehicle. Now, I don't know how things are in Idaho. She would have had to have gone from Idaho to Washington to get this vehicle. As you saw on the map, there's no AutoNation locations in Idaho whatsoever, which is a bit strange. But the whole past owner thing doesn't make sense for two reasons. One, what I mentioned before, there would have been no time for there to be any updated information for anybody, no matter how good you are at finding stuff, to be able to tell if anybody even bought that vehicle off the lot, much less the person. There's no freaking way. The registration and everything wasn't even done. At this point, she was basically operating under a paper tag, waiting for her license plate to actually come in for her to put on her vehicle. So there was nothing permanent actually assigned just yet. And for two, if this was a dealers only auction situation where this Range Rover was repossessed by AutoNation, which that happens a lot. They do it in like fleets where they just go to different states, do like massive auctions, get a whole bunch of different vehicles and just like take off with hundreds at a time that they got at auctions. There's no way that the person who might have had this Range Rover repossessed from them would have been able to find out that quickly, A, that it was sold at auction or even being auctioned off, or B, who actually got the car, which would have been AutoNation, and then C, the person who bought the car from the person who got it at the auction. So I don't understand why they wasted time investigating that. No, it could have literally been a day. Literally could have been a day. They realized how she got the vehicle and realized it was irrelevant and there was no connections, but it still seems strange because it wasn't a private sale. It's not like she went to somebody who was selling it in their front yard and there was a transaction made and boom, she's got a freaking Range Rover. It came off of a car lot. So it's weird. But because there was so many different answers about where she actually got the vehicle, now a few of you were right. A few of you were definitely correct. But there's so much. I'm going to make a very blank statement. And I'm not going to address this type of lunacy again unless something detrimental happens, okay? If you are watching a YouTube channel and they are out here claiming that they have pertinent information, secret information, their lives are in danger because of the information that they have, they're talking to this person and this person, blah, 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 they wouldn't be out here on YouTube. The feds would have been knocking at their door, shutting them up way a long time ago, the same way they shut Steve up. So if there's anybody out here on YouTube claiming this, claiming that, and everything else, and it sounds dangerous and it sounds like it's insane, it is, and it's fake. The feds, the government, they listen to everything that you do. They listen to your every thought. Why do you think you get strange ass ads all of a sudden for stuff that you just thought about but never actually searched, okay? They're listening to everything. If these channels really had real information, they'd have had a knock on their door the same way that Vargas did, and nobody would be talking. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments about why they felt the need, you think anyway, to go and search for the previous owners of this Range Rover. It doesn't make sense for all the reasons I've already listed. But that's it, you guys. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. See y'all.